Hey YouTube, it's Karen Maria Alston, and it's the end of 2023, the last few days of this calendar year. And I wanted to take a moment to share my process that I do every year to prepare for a new year. Some of you don't know me, and you're asking yourself, why should I listen to her? And what is her process? So if you've made it this far in the video, I'm going to take a second to stop and tell you who I am. So, I'm a multi-hyphenate, creative, entrepreneur, filmmaker, executive, marketer. But the most important thing about who I am is I am my authentic self. Back in 2014, God hit me with a pivot moment in my life. I was training for my first half marathon and I was out on a bike ride and I fell. I was rushed to the emergency room. I had my mouth wired in the emergency room. Actually, my mouth was wired for 6 weeks. And I was in ICU for 2 days. And during that time, the doctors said they didn't know if I would look the same or if my face would be the same. And in those moments of prayer and solitude and sadness, I made a decision to pivot and to change and to work on being the best human being that I could be. So for the past 9 years, I've been studying from some of the greatest minds, taking masterminds, courses, classes, going to conferences, listening, learning, and taking pieces of what I had learned and applying it to my own life. And yes, I still have a ways to go. There are areas in which I am stuck, but I wanted to share some of the things that I have learned. So I want to share with you today my process that I do at the end of every single year in order to prepare for the upcoming year. So I brought a few handouts. I'm here in my creative room in my house. I haven't shared this room. I did this room during COVID and probably felt a little anxiety around it. I created a space where I could be creative, where I could ideate and come up with ideas, whether it's writing, painting, drawing, crocheting, doing things that meant something to me. And I finished this room and sort of closed the door and didn't look back. And so I'm facing a fear simply being in here and sharing this room with all of you. So thank you for being on this journey with me. And thank you for giving me a space to face this fear. So let's talk about my end of year process. First of all, I journal every single year. I write down things that I do. I take a look at my month, my week, my day, and I put time and effort into going after goals. So the first thing I do at the beginning of every year is I write a letter to myself for the previous year. So I'll write a letter to Karen for 2023, what I accomplished, what I'm proud of, what areas of my life that I made changes, what areas of my life that I need to conquer, what goals I didn't achieve, what goals that I wanted to achieve, the areas of my life that need work, the areas of my life where I've excelled. I write all of that down, and it's an honest letter from me to me, where I celebrate my wins and I bullet point where I need to improve. Then I wait a day or two and I write a letter to myself for 2024. And this letter I plan to read once per quarter. So the end of March, end of June, end of September, and December of 2024. And this letter is from me to me, describing what I want to achieve in 2024. That's why it's so important to document what I did in 2023. So I can take a look at my life and take a look at what I didn't achieve and what I plan to achieve in 2024. And the other thing is to make space and to make room for something that I don't even know that can happen. Now we have artificial intelligence. We have so many new tools available to us. So there's some things that haven't been invented yet that will impact me in 2024. And I need to be prepared for that. So I need to make space for that as well. And lastly, there's something I do that I started about a year and a half ago, and that is I make a list of goals from big to small. My list, which is right here, pull it up. My list, which is right here, right now is around 200 goals. My goal is to get to 300, but it's at 200 right now. And I know that seems like a lot, but what happens is, and I don't know if you can see this, is as you go through the year and you've achieved a goal, I highlight what I have done. And at the end of the year, my personal goal is that 20% of this list has been accomplished. So if I have 200 goals, the 20 things I've hit. Now, personally, I'd like to get this to 50%, but that may take 2 or 3 years to get to. So at the end of maybe 5 years, this list might have 500 or 600 goals on it. But how many have I accomplished along the way, along the journey? And that's the whole point of going from good to great. It's just to improve a little bit every single day, every single week, every single month. So this is a part of my annual process. The other thing that I do that I'm working on now, and hopefully I'll show the finished product on my Instagram, is my vision board. And I've spent the past couple of days offline, off the internet, off my computer, going through magazines, going through Pinterest, putting together the items that are going to be on my 2024 vision board. And it's not a lot this year. It's only about 4 main areas, but it's an important year. This is a big year for me because I plan to make a lot of large changes in my life. I've been preparing for it for the past few years. And so I'm really excited to finalize this vision board. Anyway, if this has helped you in any way, shape, or form, please subscribe. I'm going to share more content from here in my creative room. And I hope that you join me along this journey. Follow me on Instagram or follow me here on YouTube. I look forward to helping, sharing, listening, ideating, and creating with you. Have a great day and Happy New Year.